right. Well, let's go around and introduce your characters one at a time.
Daniel, I think you should go first.
All right. My name is Edwin One Ear Padley.
Ooh, yeah.
I am, in fact, a pirate. I'm a privateer, naturally take to being a pirate, of course. Like all my spacefaring brigands, I'm just naturally a pirate. However, I realize that these abilities are necessary to be in the service of a planetary government, not for myself. So raiding foreign merchant vessels, complete diplomatic immunity.
Diplomatic immunity.
Nice.
Unafraid of the dark, I've always seen the beauty in the blackness beyond our solar system. So most people are afraid of what's out there. I thrive on the ghost stories that are told. Having the mystery of the stories draw me in rather than push me away. I am hecka wealthy.
Yeah.
I saw the civilization coming to an end, and I went, you know what? I have all this money. I'm going to get more. I'm going to spend whatever I want. So I've got a nice fancy ship. I've got lots of luxurious everything. I mean, everything's just plush everywhere. It's great.
Yes.
And I'm also a child of a Kisin, K-I-S-I-N. So I was born to the disciples of Kisin, but left many years ago. I know their customs, their rituals, and respect their necessary place in the circle of life. For reasons that remain my own, I left Charon as a child and made a life of my own. But I still respect the dead, or I still have respect for death, and has never waned. So that's my backstory. My talents: I'm a pilot. Never met anyone that can outfly me on any ship. I am a gunner. I have turned even the most primitive railgun into an effective anti-pirate barrage. Dark traveler, navigating beyond the heliopause. All the time, it just requires more abilities that most pilots lack. I can discern my location and direction in situations where other spacers would find themselves lost. Tapping into a sixth sense that I barely recognize I even have. I'm a prepper, always prepping. That's why I've got the really nice plush ship and all the amenities. I'm a dirty fighter, so I realize that those that survive are going to be the ones that are in direct competition for the remaining resources. So I've stockpiled everything, and I'm ready to defend it at all costs. And I'm also the voice of the dead, so I've learned how to commune with the spirits of the dead. So it's helped me more than once. What's going on? Some of my flaws: I'm void-eyed, so my immersion into deep space beyond the sun seemed to go fine until I got back and looked in a mirror and realized my eyes have no irises, no whites, just black within black. So
wow.
Yeah, and right?
One ear.
Black eyes, one ear. When my parents died, it crushed me, like it just totally broke me practically. When news reached me that their caskets were lost en route to be interred on Charon, I felt like they died again. So it's like they died and then they got lost, and so their bodies have never been discovered. And so that's kind of one of the reasons I became a pirate, was to try and find their caskets again. So, yeah, it's gonna be great. I'm so excited to be a pirate again. And Edwin Padley, if I die in Tales of Terra, he's my next character. So he's a pirate in there too. So it worked out
nice.
better. I'm like, okay, I'm a pirate. Yes. I have his name down and everything.
I'm a space pirate. I'm a filthy rich space pirate.
Well, filthy rich space pirate, and yeah.
Who speaks with the dead and
Speaks with the dead. Yeah. So I am so excited for my character.
Sweet.
So anyway, that is Edwin. That's me. Super excited.
That's a pretty cool signature move. You don't need to share that. Like, you can keep that in your back pocket.
There's
But
so
I
many
can
good
see-
signature moves. Holy crap. When I had to choose, I'm like, really? Can't have all of these?
All right. Let's move on to whoever wants to go next.
You want to go next, Shara?
Sure.
Okay.
Why not?
I'm still trying to figure out how my backstory fits together.
Okay, I kind of have an idea. I'm not as solid as pre-made Daniel over here, but I think I got an idea of how this is going. So my name is Gwendo Silly, spelled S-Y-L-I, but sometimes confused otherwise. I have long been an ambassador for the Jovian foreign worlds, a very treasured government employee to the other of the 7 kingdoms. And I've grown accustomed to alien cultures and habits, and I fancy myself a well-traveled being. And even though I have... Right, it is. It is totally.
In space.
A little bit tweaked, though. It changes. So,
Love it.
my...
So fun.
Even though I have this prestigious career, I've had some interesting experiences at home. I have had an archangel of Klin. He crash landed in outside of my home, and I ran out to see what was going on, and I looked under his glowing armor and that he was dying and he was human. And so I took him inside, I helped him get back to health, and he didn't say anything during his stay. All he said was thank you as he left, and no one believes me. But I know how vulnerable and mortal the archangels are. And also in my backyard, I found a small piece of worn shiny metal, and it doesn't really look like anything special, but I know that it is a broken off piece of the Wanderer, and no one's ever been able to identify the alloy, and it is my most treasured piece of history. And before I became an ambassador, this artifact led me to my first passion of anthropology. And for years, I saw a chance to get to study the populations of dead Earth. And after waiting so long, the university granted my permit to take a university-funded expedition to this stricken planet, and I was ecstatic. But it left me, it left its mark. While I was there, I was hunted and captured and tortured by a tribe of dead Earth, and for whatever reason, they decided to let me live, and they marked me with that tribe's particular mask lines, and they're carved in my face, and they're pretty nasty scars across my skin. They identify me as a thief or a marauder, or at least someone who has consorted with savages. And
You can join my crew any day.
right? My talents, that covers one of my flaws in my backstory. I have the talent of flight, and I know how to fly the Archangel's highly advanced rocket packs. Bam, bam.
Ooh.
I am also trained as a martial artist and an expert in quick takedowns and acrobatic maneuvers. As
Face
explore.
the theme!
Right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, come on.
Exploring dead Earth and having to protect myself and stay alive on various diplomatic missions. I had to develop that talent, and I'm open-minded, and that I have a level of headedness. I have an expanded worldview and allows me to deal with strange people easier and survive in rough climates more effectively. I've much accepted a broader perspective and accept and adapt to new cultures. And I have a talent of being diplomatic. The Jovians are a diplomatic people by nature. To them, open war is a barbaric, primitive thing. You know how to handle situations with words like a civilized person. So go defeat the fiend. It's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So I'm also vigilant. That since warfare and violence are frowned upon in Jovian society, I have to find other ways of taking advantage of fellow man for personal gain. I'm keenly aware of this, so my eyes and ears are always perked, drifting into shadows and analyzing people's gestures, and I notice many things others do not. And I'm also fearless, going to dead Earth to go and get hunted and captured and tortured and all that jazz. And
Nice.
yeah, the ancient secrets buried in the ruins of dead Earth hold endless promises, and a little radiation or violent savages isn't going to stop me. Takes a lot to frighten me. My brave nature impresses people who normally wouldn't think twice about me. Yeah.
Cool.
My other flaw is that I've been contacted through generational memory or the radioactive resonance on Ganymede. The Wanderer has contacted me. I can't control when they come, but messages and images are occasionally beamed to my skull from somewhere far beyond the solar system. No one believes me,
Holy crap.
again, and I can't stop it. What these messages entail is up to the GM, but their uncontrollable flow and cryptic nature have taken its toll on you.
Ooh.
So, yeah, I'm interpreting that.
So, just for your reference, you guys, the Wanderer incident was 500 years ago. An alien ship appeared in the sky above Ganymede, broadcasted a mysterious signal that no one has ever been able to decrypt in all of the years since, and then it vanished and has never been seen again.
Whoa.
So I've been contacted by them and have a piece of their ship.
It's actually part of my
Wow.
ship, but so.
And my inventory. Do we need? No, I don't know.
You don't need to go.
I have a
You
rocket
don't need to
pack.
go into that.
I basically
If
have
there's
a
something
rocket
really interesting, bring it up, but
pack. I have a rocket pack. I have the
Awesome.
skill and the tools. I can fly.
Yeah.
So
Okay,
I found
that's
it
pretty much it.
in
And you have a sonic screwdriver. Cannon.
Yes. Take down, non-lethal. Pshing. And you can fix it because you're like a super gun guy, and it says in it that it's very complex and very few people know how to repair them, but I'm thinking that you might have a chance if it ever gets broken.
Oh, you bet. Any day.
Yeah. That's so silly.
That's a cool signature move as well.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty cool.
Like,
It's like times 5.
yeah, like that even, yeah, like that's not something that you necessarily use in the moment like most signature moves. That's just a benefit that applies to you the whole session.
Yeah, I just get 5 rerolls anytime during the session, basically.
Dang!
What?
Yeah. What's it called?
Maybe you
I
should
forget.
go
Higher
ahead
awareness.
and just mark that as used right away, and we'll all get the cool animation here.
Whoa! As. Whoa!
There it is! Yeah!
I didn't
And
see it.
then
What did
if-
it look like?
Yeah,
Like,
you'll see it if
flash
somebody else
red.
uses it.
Yeah.
Yeah, if someone else uses their signature move.
Woohoo!
And
That was so cool. And I now no longer have service. Ah, what is happening?
sorry.
Yeah, I get that from my exposure to the Wanderer phenomenon.
that's cool.
Highly attuned
Cool.
senses.
Tell
Very cool.
what was your name again?
Gwendo Silly. I'll type it in.
No.
I like having the names at the top. That's kind of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So on Taki Shara, if you click on your name above your picture up here, then you can put in.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's really cool.
Not
Yeah.
move my picture. I just like I'm happy with where it is.
Yeah.
Excellent. That's so helpful.
That is really nice.
So
Yeah, that's
helpful.
awesome.
Oh my gosh.
My only complaint with Taki is the symbols being like
Everywhere.
over, like just
Yeah.
over everything. Like it's fine with the
Yeah.
names, but then having like the mute down in the lower left and the like speaker symbol right in the middle of the bottom, it's just kind
Yeah,
of
so-
irritating.
Yeah.
So all the homework is to send feedback to Taki to say, hey, this is distracting. Take it off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yes. Or at least give us the option to take
Right,
it off.
have it be a
I
setting.
Yeah, I was looking for different
Yeah.
options or anything. There's nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess.
All right. Is it Lisa or Liza DeMarc?
Liza.
Liza.
Tell us about yourself, Liza.
My name is Liza DeMarcs.
Ooh, already.
Not much is known about me. So people have a lot of speculations about where I come from and what my story is. But even I don't know, so I can't tell you. I spent most of my life working as a miner on Io. So I'm used to pressure suits, the oxygen masks, working for 16 hours straight. And I did that up until there was an accident there in the mine shaft. And I sustained a lot of damage in the accident. And since not a lot is known about me, the government decided that I would be the perfect candidate for a super soldier. So I have been genetically modified. I can leap higher, lift more, and survive longer than the average person. But the program fell through, so I didn't get to finish through the augmentation. On my way home to Io, I came in contact with the nebula and acquired some magic, shall we say.
Ooh, space magic.
So when I came home to Io, I was enlisted into a school of self-styled warlocks who train themselves to control their art casting abilities. The school
Because
is
of course you're a warlock.
Yeah. It's just
Good for you.
Tamaki.
I'm a
not
super soldier
sexual.
warlock.
Like, self-styled warlocks. Can I actually get it to focus?
Focus.
Warlocks. Like,
Jeez, yeah, right there. Aw. Go figure.
just like,
The world has typecast us. We are set in stone.
Weave has created us an alternate universe.
The Emerald Wing in space.
In this universe, I'm like super strong, Rin. Instead
Yeah,
of
you
like
are
I can kind of maybe lift things.
This is
This is the
Tancred.
descendants of our characters.
Yeah.
The school is well respected in some circles, but seen as esoteric and dangerous by most. I'm a master at this school, having gained significant control over my abilities.
And, for your reference, real quick, I'm not sure how much it actually told you about the Arccaster thing, but
I gleaned from the other options.
yeah, it's
Skill was, but-
there's a limited amount of information given, but where's the actual the entry for the Great Storm is what I want to find first. Great Storm, there it is. So about 10 years ago, maybe a little longer, over a decade ago, there was an ionized nebula that passed across our solar system. Basically, like the whole solar system went through this nebula, and it killed millions of people, but others were mutated. And individuals mutated by the Great Storm are referred to frequently as Arccasters, who have lightning-based, almost magical powers. They're both feared and highly valued all across the solar system. There's a little element of X-Men to them, where people are people value their abilities, but they're also kind of scared of them. And
Not me. I'm fearless.
you're also more open-minded than a lot of people. So
I'm a pirate. I'd like to hire him. So, you have a special talent that can get us money? Well, let's do this.
I probably can't get some money.
Welcome aboard my boat anytime.
Okay, so not a nebula, but a storm. I went through it like an what is it? Iodized storm?
an ionized nebula, yeah.
Oh, it was a nebula. So I was right. Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
It's just referred to as the Great Storm because
Okay.
it was...
Cool. So, my talents. I'm a shadow. I've spent my whole life staying in the dark and out of sight. I can sneak around as quiet as a spider. Many places only allow exclusive individuals within their walls. Fortunately for me, I know how to be anyone. I've mastered the accents, facial expressions, and mannerisms of a dozen cultures, and I've more than a couple alternate identities.
Nice.
I am seeing all of the typos in this where it's just
I'm like, mannerisms.
yeah, the mannerisms, exclusive individuals, and
identities.
Identitites.
Yeah, identities.
Just like exclusive individuals.
I didn't even catch that one.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
Exclusive individuals.
Individuals.
The beautiful thing is that it's still a product that's totally viable, and we all love it anyway.
Yeah, it's just
Awesome.
need another
Typos
run
just
through.
make us giggle instead of like, really.
Yeah.
Right.
Just probably needed one more run through.
Also, the next one is knowledge addict, and neither knowledge nor addict is capitalized.
Yeah.
How much I know only spans as far as I can remember. Unless, of course, if I forgot that what I remembered wasn't real to begin with. I am a pyrotechnician. The flow of magma on Io requires a very steady, disciplined hand. I possess the devices and skills necessary
Yeah. Necessary. It's
to direct flames, beams of energy, and other emissions of intense heat. I've utilized this ability in an industrial setting, but hypothetically, I would be quite proficient with using it in a combat situation as well.
Sweet.
Oh yeah. That
I'm
might come in handy.
coordinated. I've had to escape more than one mega corporate prison in the past. I can squirm out of binders and other restraints as well as fit into tiny spaces. I am a phaser. I can become like the nebula at will, shifting my physical form into an incorporeal state that allows me to pass through walls and other solid objects.
Nice.
Dude, you are like the perfect super soldier, man.
Some flaws that I have is I'm overconfident. I think I know it all. Well, I might be until something I know hits me right in the jaw.
But you can take it.
I'm an aberration, a monster, a freak. On my home world, they did not understand my art casting. They only feared it. Now the government hunts me in an effort to contain my terrible powers.
Ooh.
And also,
What an interesting signature move that is.
right?
Too bad we don't have our our Kraken D2s yet. And I'll
Yeah,
have
right?
to just find a regular old coin. But oh well.
I got one.
I also have a handheld flamer. Basically, it's like a pistol that shoots fire.
Nice.
Pocket flamethrower.
Pocket flamethrower.
And you can spew forth a 5-meter jet of flame without harmer themselves.
Makes sense to me. I don't know what you guys are talking about.
I just have to laugh a little bit because I'm pretty sure that I have talked to the writer of this playset on the Weave Discord a couple of times, and he seems like a cool dude. It's just like, he probably tried to do this very quickly over the course of
5
a few
o'clock in the
days,
morning, as flame themselves. That makes sense, right? Yeah, okay.
That makes
and,
Necessary. Necessary.
yeah, accessory.
Necessary. We'll see if I can keep up the southern accent all through the game.
Yeah, we'll see. I have no idea what kind of accent I want.
Oh, geez, that is ridiculous. It's like your flamer has enough juice for 30 minutes of sustained use before its core must be replaced.
Whoa!
Like, who needs to use a flamethrower for a half an hour?
Rocket power!
Definitely me.
Yeah.
So like Han Solo. Can I try that?
So when I asked you about being a cyborg, I was like,
Yeah.
in theory, could they put it in my hands? Like, so that my flamethrower is actually coming out of my hands.
Yeah.
And then I became a warlock, so
Yep.
so maybe I have like one big metallic arm that has the flamethrower in it, and then the other one casts my like art casting abilities.
There you go.
Yeah. How do your characters know one another? And if, like, you don't all have to know one another, but it'd be good if there was at least, like, a couple of connections to give us an excuse for you guys to be together.
I think that maybe Edwin could have already fixed my gun already. Like, we might have that kind of a business past.
Yeah.
In that point.
I feel like I would have gone to Gwendo for help, like, hiding.
Yeah.
Because she's understanding and, like, not going to turn me in.
Yeah, I'm willing to listen to someone out. I'm not afraid of being hunted.
I'm a pirate. I know everybody.
You know everybody.
Everybody knows me.
You know who all these important people are, and so you know us naturally.
Either I've stolen for you or from you, but I probably know you.
Yes.
I just imagine me like taking everybody on my ship to like Dead Earth, like on like an expedition or something. So
Yeah, you totally could have been hired to take me there.
so Liza's with Gwendo,
When
like
I
hide
first
me,
went.
and you're like, well, we just happened to be hiding a ship to take us to Earth. Like, yeah, come on in.
Okay.
So on the next
I-
expedition.
My name's
I
Glenn
will
Stanley.
stay
Come
on
on
the
my
ship.
ship.
I vote
Yeah.
to stay on the ship while we're at
I come back horribly marred.
What happened to you?
It's okay.
Could have gone with you.
All right,
I got
so-
blaster.
Yeah. Anytime you guys want to take an action, the way that will work is that if an action has any chance of resistance or complications, that sort of thing, if I think that it will be interesting to make you roll for it, then you will have to roll a certain number of dice depending on who you are and what you're able to argue for how your talents, flaws, etc. might affect that action. So for any challenge, you start with 3 dice. If your character's focus suit is the same as the challenge, then you get a 4th die right off the bat just from that. So Daniel, you'll get a 4th die automatically on any stones challenges. And if you have gotten a strike in the same color as the suit of the challenge, you get 1 less die for that roll, though. Which I believe it is impossible for you to get a strike in your own suit, in your focus suit. So when
Yeah,
you
my
get a
color's not
strike,
on there.
yeah, when you get a strike, it applies to one of the other suits. Strikes only last through a scene, typically, before they are reset. And for anything you can argue, any one of your character qualities that you feel you can apply to a challenge roll, if you can argue successfully to me why that would apply, I'll give you another die for it. Or if you feel that you have a flaw that would get in your way on a roll, then or something to that effect, then you'd remove a die based on that quality. You can also consider items as qualities for that purpose. So if you have an item like, if you're having some kind of fight and you want to use your flamer, for instance, I'd say you'd get an extra die for the item.
Cool.
Let's see. Once you know exactly, like your pool only goes up to 6. You can never have fewer than 1 die or more than 6 in a single challenge roll.
Cool.
And once the final pool is established, you roll, you determine your number of successes, and I mentioned that the epic pass is anytime you get 2 or more successes than the challenge level. I mentioned to you guys, I don't know if Sadie heard this, but it recharges your signature move if you get an epic pass. If you've already used it, it recharges your signature move, and you can use it again in the same session, assuming that you have gotten an epic pass between when you used it.
Which is the, like, you need 1, you get 3, like, successes?
Yeah.
Is that what that
like
is?
if
Okay.
you have two or more successes than the challenge level. If the challenge level is 2 or more above the successes rolled, that's an epic fail. And in addition to any potential strike you might receive from that, you also receive a consequence, which is a negative quality that it can last for the remainder of the game unless we agree on some proper way to remove it. So say a character dives out of the way of a car but epically fails, they might get a broken leg as a consequence, and then a broken leg would just haunt you until it's fixed, removing dice from anything it could possibly remove them from.
Gales or stone challenges, probably.
Yeah.
If I don't like the challenge cards I have in my hand, I can just make you automatically succeed and redraw all my challenge cards, holding on to any I want up to the hand amount.
Cool.
Or if I want to suggest that you guys auto-fail something, then I can try to play an enticement, which kind of like Fate Systems, like Fate Core's version of like invoking and whatnot with different aspects. It's like if you fail this, I'll give you this card, and it's a challenge card that you can hold on to. You can redeem it in any future action as it can heal a strike from you, it can add an additional die to a challenge roll, or if you're dealing with the challenge of the suit of the card you're given, then it can reduce a challenge by that amount.
Nice.
So if an enticement is just like, I really want you to fail this particular challenge for flavor's sake, so if you agree to do that, then you can accept this card. If you want to refuse it, then I flip over the challenge card. You don't see what it is until I try to entice you with it. And
Till you either
if you-
accept or reject it.
yeah, if you refuse it, then I flip it over, and you have to make a challenge roll on the card before making whatever roll you were regularly going to make.
Ooh.
And if you succeed, then you resist the enticement and roll against the initial challenge that you wanted to do anyway, receiving any strikes or consequences that should incur should that fail. But if you accept it, you get the card. If you refuse, it just makes it a little harder. And so
Fail for fun and
occasionally-
awesomeness.
occasionally I can play story cards if I want to introduce a new location or a new NPC or something like that.
Noise.
And now I just have to figure out how we start this thing. 'Cause-
We're on the train. I can't wait.
yeah.
Going off the rails in a crazy train.
Oh yeah.
Thank you, Ozzy.
Anytime.
I want some slightly more science fiction music, so I'm putting on the Mass Effect 2 soundtrack here.
Yes.
Which is a really good soundtrack.
Yeah.
Alright, so I need to figure out how and where we start here exactly.
We zoom into the lounge. Oh, I gotta figure out what the name of my ship is.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Brainstorming. Oh yeah, just so you know, my character speaks. Okay, can't really speak anything right now because my brain is fried. But he speaks Scozzy. It's a Scottish Aussie accent. Just in case anybody wondering what my accent is going to be, that's kind of ish.
Nice.
Okay,
So
I'm
Something
muting real
else.
quick. I'll be right back. I can hear, so
Okay.
we can start.
all right.
My phone is freaking out a little bit, but I'm trying to get it back up
I
again.
like in the like a spaceship name generator that I just pulled up, my favorite one of these I think is the long shot hypothesis.
That is awesome. I was actually getting ready to pull up a name generator too.
Yeah. I had one open anyway for in case I need NPC names. and stuff
Long
like that.
shot hypothesis. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
I don't think I'd be able to say that more than once, so that's why I'm not going with it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's a great name.
Yeah.
Let's see.
All right. Let's see. Well, maybe just to give myself a slightly easier time, I will play a story card and give myself an NPC.
Nice.
Which normally I wouldn't do that quite so quickly, but it might be kind of helpful.
So do you get story cards that tell you like what the kind of general plot is from the get-go?
Yes, I already drew those.
Cool.
They're sitting up on the upper left. I have them face down at the moment, but
Ooh.
not that I need to conceal them because they don't tell you anything.
Right, they're just pictures.
Yeah.
I swear these guys had. Oh, here we go. Oh, a battle cry generator? Man, I should not be looking at this site. Space Academy.
Let's see here. That's an option.
Ooh.
Frio! Yeah, that's what I want. Come on, man. Looking all over the place for it. Can't find it.
And then I will draw another card from the story deck. No, I don't want to actually put it on the table. I want it in my hand. There we go. So whenever I play any one of my cards, I draw another.
Nice. Ooh, I think I figured it out. I don't know if I'm going to keep it, but I'm going to write it down.
Great drama for this moment
Oh,
of
yeah.
trying to figure out what is happening.
The lullaby. USS Fudgy. What the hey? Oh, that's cool. Actually, that might just end up being it. Because that is a pretty good name.
USS Fudgy?
No.
It's like, really? You couldn't do that in there?
There's lots of good names, and Fudgy is not one of them.
Sorry, this should not be so slow. I'm just trying to...
It's actually really okay because I think my phone overheated and shut itself off, so I just had to take out the battery and now it's starting back up. So it gave me good technical time.
Yeah.
I took off its cover, so hopefully it won't overheat again.
Yeah.
Yes, that's it. Okay.
I'm guessing that the Weave app probably like saved my character, so I can just go back into it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it
It
does.
should be saved with the
What's your
the
login?
season, as it's called. So,
That's very good.
yeah.
That would be sad to lose all of that.
Yeah.
Right, name of my ship is the Manticore.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that is really good.
Right, that's what I'm talking about. It's way better than the Fudgy.
Yeah, supremely better.
It was either that or the Gilded Javelin, but I figured Gilded would fuddle my words again, so Manticore is very separated consonants. I think I can handle that. I gotta change color, my shirt's blending into the background.
Yeah.
Nope. Really? I need to drink at the same time. Reds! Ah, that's better. Whew. Don't drop. Oh, aboard the Manticore! My sweet scuzzy accent.
Yay!
I'm so
Windows
excited.
is back. I imagine Gwendo being like kind of silly and off kilter, like just a little goofy from time to time. Like she gets those little visions from time to time, or she's ranting about these crazy things that no one believes her about, and she's got these weird facial scars. And
Love it. The Manticore. Oh, I'm so excited. That's a great name.
All right, I think I have a reasonable enough excuse, sort of, to kick things off here.
oh, I forgot to tell this part of my backstory, that when I saved a dying archangel, it was because I was present when they fought a great band of pirates on 16th Psyche and narrowly won. And during the
Pirates
battle,
won, or they?
that's when it crashed. I think that the archangels narrowly won. So I don't know if you
Wasn't
were
against me then. Definitely wasn't me because I haven't lost yet.
You might have been aware of that battle, maybe. Even known to the people. I don't know.
Probably.
As a privateer, you're not just like any old pirate. You are a government-sanctioned pirate from.
Yeah. We
This-
might be like office buddies. Just cross paths. Hey, how's it doing? How's it going?
It's just next door to each other. Zoology and piracy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's probably why you hired me to take you to Earth.
Right, yeah. The best pirate I know.
knock on the door
I
next
need
door.
him.
Hey! Are you
Hey,
busy?
Edwin! I need to take a trip.
My office is super plush. Wingback chair that's like 4 times as big as it needs to be.
Yeah, I would say that probably you would be a privateer very quietly in the service of the no, that wouldn't make sense now that I think about it. So maybe you'd be working for one of the the conglomerate or whatever.
I was thinking the Tritonian
That also works.
because it sounds cool.
I was going to say that I'm pretty sure you wouldn't be part of the Jovian Ascendancy even quietly because they're not so down with the violence.
Right, yeah,
So-
that's kind of part of their thing.
Kind of my stick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, I mean, being a diplomat, going to different places, it's still possible, I would think, maybe.
You could say it's an unsanctioned trip and you just had to find your own way, and I just happened to be on port that day.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's no reason you couldn't be associated with one another. It's just that
Sure,
they
yeah,
probably are, you're probably not employed by the Jovian Ascendancy
Yeah.
directly because they would be like, we're not going to give someone rights to raid foreign vessels. That's...
Come on, it's great work. And great fun.
Not the Jovian Jam.
Yeah.
It'll make you feel better.
Well, I don't know. It does mention, open war is a barbaric primitive thing. That doesn't mean that
So maybe-
a privateer...
Hush, hush, war.
They're privateers could easily be part of a more civilized trade war in which they're just try not to kill anybody unless they really cause you problems, but get us the goods kind of thing. So
Yep.
warfare and violence are frowned upon, but they're just but you gotta
necessary
make
evil.
money. Yeah.
Right.
Oh, I definitely make the money.
Yeah.
So I'm just trying to connect a couple of dots here in my own head. And welcome back.
Welcome back.
All right, so
Turbulence.
the
Okay.
I was listening to that part about hey Edwin, you to take me to this place,
Yeah.
And, all I could think about was that line from Little Einstein, so I put it in the chat.
yeah.
We're going on a chip.
Going on a trip in our favorite rocket ship.
Boys.
Just happens to be the Minotaur with a pirate.
There you go.
Whatever works for you, man.
Troy.
Right.
All right, so I would say
I'm guessing the storm is our NPC or whatever.
yeah. And so
Because I had that one.
yeah. So you guys are for whatever reason you loosely know one another to some degree, but you are all called into a private meeting with a government official from the Jovian Ascendancy that you've all three of you have worked with before for one reason or another. His name is Meryl Paulson. He is a fairly high-ranking member of the government. He is just high-ranking enough to have significant power, and just under the radar enough that he is not exactly a public figure. He's someone who has a fair amount of pull in a lot of areas, and he has overseen some of the quiet jobs that have been handed off to Edwin. He has he's been trying to support Gwendo in research and things like that. And he is very, very quietly and very, very secretly, known only to Liza, he is secretly an art caster.
Boom!
He doesn't generally use his abilities where anyone can see them. He barely uses them at all if it can be helped. He's just enough of a public figure that it would be very easy for him to get in trouble for it. However, you do know that very
Random
early
question.
on... Yes.
It'll seem random anyway. Does he have a DDC?
A what?
I saw it in the options for inventory. The DDC is like a neck chain, basically, that absorbs the additional electrical charges or whatever that come from being an art caster, so that he's not accidentally shocking people.
Yeah, he'd have to, but he probably keeps it tucked away behind his suit so that it is not giving away his little secret.
Yeah, they're used commonly in prisons and stuff, so I imagine if he has one, it's hiding.
Yeah.
A sleeker model.
Yeah.
Hiding.
I almost grabbed it, but decided not to. So I don't have one.
Yeah, but you are aware that not long after your abilities began to manifest, you were contacted by the Center for Storm Research and Containment. And it's this government agency that's supposed to research and rehabilitate art casters. And you very quickly found out they're not all that they claim to be. They made a kidnapping attempt on you. And, they just about got you, but Meryl got you out of this situation. And because
I feel like I need art of this person.
Yeah. He kind of tries to quietly protect art casters that don't seem outright dangerous to him, and with your situation, what little he might know about you, he'd probably feel some sympathy for you, and so he's kind of been trying to take you under his wing, keep this whole thing quiet. And so he kept you away from the Center for Storm Research and Containment. And informed you that not only do they kidnap art casters, they also experiment on them, and that's why he kind of tries to keep people out of their hands. The whole thing makes him uncomfortable. But he is a man of more of realism than idealism, and as such he recognizes that things like hiring privateers are necessary evils.
I was gonna say that's probably how we met, being like the Underground Railroad-ish.
Yeah. Yeah, he's probably utilized your services not only as a privateer, but also to have you move art casters who have been
Off of that.
rescued from the center. So he's likely had you kind of be a transporter at different times, things like that, so that you can help protect people from, bless you, help get people out. Witness protection program, the art caster protection program. But
I'm all right with this.
the three of you there's some level of acquaintance between you already, but you're a bit surprised when you all are ushered into Paulson's office, Meryl Paulson's office, at the same time. And he welcomes you in, shuts the door. There is the sound of a seal as the door closes, and he taps a couple of buttons on his desk, and there's a little just kind of like of air as the door is sealed tight enough to keep sound in and not let anybody eavesdrop.
Noise.
I noticed approvingly.
Yeah.
With these individuals, I appreciate the sound barrier.
Yeah.
I need one of these installed in my ship immediately.
Edwin, Gwendo, Liza. I'm not certain to what degree the three of you know one another, but
Seen him around.
we
before.
have some work that I think it may require no particular sets of skills. First of all, the gates. So for over 1,000 years, the superluminal gates have kept the worlds of the solar system connected. Human civilization is extremely dependent on them. Spacers utilize the gates to keep trade flowing through the vacuum. They're huge, incredibly massive, incredibly complex structures. They allow ships to pass through and teleport across the solar system near instantaneous travel. They're very expensive, they're very, very well protected, and also very unstable. They're also considered functionally sacred. That's the one law that connects all of the Seven Kingdoms, all nations from the sun all the way out to Eris. It's that the gates are sacred. You don't mess with the gates. No one shall ever disrupt or damage their continued operation. Which is why it came as quite a shock when 1 year ago one of the gates failed and ceased operating. There was no explanation to the public, but one of the outer gates that was leading from the outer edges of the solar system towards the center shut down and has not been reactivated. People who went looking and investigating and that sort of thing usually couldn't find any answer, and they would be very quickly shooed away from the gate if they ever tried to actually dock with any of its various bays. They were not permitted to go visit. And since then, 7 more gates have been lost.
Jeez.
And entire planets have suffered as a result of this damage to the infrastructure. Travel from certain areas is much slower now because it must be taken manually, and even with the most powerful engines that are available to anyone right now, it would take probably months to travel to some of these more isolated places. Trade has slowed way down. People are starving there. This is partially out kind of around the edges, in particular the outer worlds. And the governments quietly behind the scenes have, you might have heard whispers, but really haven't heard too much about it, but Merrill tells you now, as he mentions the gates, he says the governments of each of the 7 kingdoms have begun to panic. So, understandably so. I trust you can imagine. If this disruption to the flow of trade and this disruption of the flow of travel through the solar system continues, we will find ourselves very nearly isolated. Trade will slow, and it is entirely possible that this could mark the end of human civilization if it is not handled. So, we've been looking to gather small teams of skilled individuals to investigate these disruptions before irreparable damage is done. And the Jovian Ascendancy, with some influence from myself, has selected the three of you to begin these operations. We have had our own agents, government officials behind the scenes, operating, looking into this since the very first gate failed. However, all of our agents have disappeared. No trace, no contact. Most of them operate for perhaps a month, maybe two, before going completely dark. No idea if they're even alive. You may be wondering why we would contact independent contractors when government officials who have training for precisely such purposes have already failed and disappeared, but we believe that perhaps the failures of the gates may have been acts of sabotage. And we believe that those outside of the structures of government may in fact be more trustworthy. We've vetted the three of you, looked into your pasts, and in some cases I've made certain that other branches of government specifically overlooked certain elements of your pasts. But we have...
Imagine all of us like, yep, that's me. Oh, you guys too?
Oh, wait, you? That wasn't me.
What are you guys talking about? I'm clean.
With those facial markers.
Oh, wait, maybe that was you, not me.
Yes, we will be willing to provide you quite a fair sum in return for these operations. It likely will be dangerous. But the three of you are capable of handling yourselves. It must be done quietly. It would be unwise to alert whoever might be behind these things that they're being looked into from outside the government, and it would be entirely possible to start a panic if the public was to catch wind too much of this. We have kept the failures of a couple of the gates quieter because they are more remote, but there's only so much we can do. People on the other ends of those gates are certainly aware that those gates have failed. Traders who have been sent off in those directions, having been turned away, have been given other excuses. But we're not certain what's wrong with the gates. We're not certain how they can be repaired, if they can be repaired. But we would like you to investigate the disruptions. If you can find solutions, that would be wonderful. Unlike most, you will be allowed access to the gates.
Excellent.
Good.
Look at everybody in the room and say, well, if you don't mind, we'll use Manticore because privateership, nobody's going to bat an eye whether we're getting close or not anyway. And then with the official decree that we're allowed to get there, on the way, it'll be easy peasy. Once we get there, we're already in.
Using your own ship would be less likely to draw attention than if we provided you with one.
Yeah. Plus, it is so plush.
Oh, it is.
Oh. What's the point of having all the money if you can't spend it,
I've
right?
been on.
It's great.
The finest. As a possible cover story, I've never been able to discover the alloy of this. And perhaps we could be I would be searching. I have been searching for information about this alloy for years, but perhaps we could be searching and questing after that in places as a loose cover story.
Works for me.
Private research mission.
Yes, yes. My pilot and bodyguard. A motley crew.
And Liza. Oh, what you mean? I was the pilot. She's the pilot. Oh, I see what you're saying. Oh, okay. That makes sense, I guess.
Give me some credit.
No, I'm not entirely sure it was you, so, you know.
I think that was more
That's
British than
bullshit.
Southern. I'll work on it.
As Noel said, we can all take care of each other. It's just a loose cover story.
Yeah, sounds like a plan to me.
As if solutions are found, if gates are brought back online, or at least further gates are prevented from being deactivated, there will be more pay where this comes from down the line.
Oh, love that word. More.
And Liza, perhaps this might be a path to opening the public mind a bit more towards Arccasters. If an Arccaster is involved in reversing or at least halting the greatest public disaster the solar system has likely ever seen, then it would certainly be good public relations.
Indeed.
If you have any questions, now would be the time to ask them, as we will be unable to communicate by the usual channels. It would be too suspicious, too likely to open the three of you up to attention if you are
Right.
known to be speaking to me
Of course.
or
Do
to
you have
anyone
any?
in government.
Do you have any leads as to where we might begin our search?
Well, you could certainly begin by examining the gates themselves. As, perhaps best that you approach the nearest gate, the new Oberon gate. See if you might be able to find any information, board it. It is manned only by a skeleton crew at the moment. There have been a number of researchers. It was the new Oberon gate was the first to fail a year ago, and it has been home to researchers, but only a skeleton crew to ensure that no damage is done by deactivating its systems. Further, no public progress has been made. Perhaps you might be able to find something out.
And the researchers presumably are researching its shutdown, its
Yes.
deactivation.
Noise.
Yes, the gates are so vast that it is very difficult for them to actually look through all of its systems. It's a needle in a haystack situation. The gates were built to be able to pass through entire fleets. They have to be massive. And small teams of researchers, no matter how many of them we employ, can only go over in any fine detail small sections of the ship or the gate at any given time. They have covered, over the last year, I would imagine, 47, 48% of the systems.
Interesting. And you say you've sent out researchers before. Have you sent them to this gate?
Yes, the gate has been. We have a number of teams of researchers that have been living on the new Oberon gate for the last year.
Yeah, but you said you sent out some researchers or some people to find out what's going on and never came back.
Government officials.
Yeah.
Yes, government agents had been sent to investigate. Not the researchers are there to poke through the system and see if they can actually find what has failed. The government agents have been sent to try to find out who's behind it, whatever has happened.
Gotcha.
Possible saboteurs, their motives.
Any of them sent to the new Oberon gate? Oberon gate? That disappeared?
Yes, one pair of agents were assigned to the new Oberon gate very early on. Disappeared. Another set of agents were assigned shortly after, but were recalled when the next gate failed.
Gotcha. Well, that just makes sense.
And they in turn disappeared a month or so later.
Right.
This is the most dramatic music for a meeting ever.
It's right.
Intense. The stakes are high.
Sounds like fun to me.
Yes, it sounds absolutely fascinating. I'm a touch curious how we might cover the remaining 52% of the gate in finding the problem, but I'm always up for a good dig into the history, even the recent history. Very good.
There's certainly no one is expecting you to completely go into as great depth across the station and the gate as they have over the last year. That would be unreasonable to expect, but perhaps different eyes might be what this needs.
And mine.
Well,
are
I'm happy to be a
different.
pair. Yes, they are. Quite unique.
Open up my eyes real wide and just total black.
Yeah, Meryl looks. He's never gotten used to that. It clearly makes him a little bit uncomfortable, but he's not one to judge.
I reached up, grabbed a pair of goggles that have been sitting on my face, and just covered them up.
Yeah. That was not meant to be a targeted comment.
No,
That was...
I just make uncomfortable situations as often as I possibly can.
I would talk more, but I'm struggling to get my accent in my head.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean a thing. My accent has slipped 14 different times in 14 different ways.
Yeah. I haven't even tried an accent yet. Not even. So.
Really?
Yeah.
Because last time, like, you had the whole your longer spiel of the night was you had a bit of an accent. It was really funny. I'm like, hey, she's trying an accent. It's great.
Did I? No. It's just whatever's rolling. I'm just taking it.
Yeah.
It's awesome. Anyway.
With as slow as progress has been made with like explaining things, putting together characters, I'm kind of expecting we can keep going tonight, of course, but I'm kind of expecting this is going to end up turning into a two-shot.
Sure. Yeah.
Because this is we're kind of getting the engines cranked up, and
we're greasing the wheels for the first time.
yeah. And so maybe after this, when like we'll get as far as we can tonight, but maybe we'll find an excuse to actually have Chris and Heidi introduce characters when we continue, and we can fill them in the meantime, so that
Can we researchers on the facility or something? That'd be kind of fun.
yeah.
We gotta be able to pick up Space Jisu and Space Mouse somewhere.
That's right. Not everybody else so far. Holy cow. Right. Any other advice, caution, anything before we take off? Holy bug, where'd you come from?
Other than to be careful, this is certainly dangerous ground to be walking, no matter what the causes behind it may be. There is certainly something happening. There are likely spies and saboteurs who could be threats to you. Be on your guard.
Right.
Always.
All right.
Well, Edwin?
To the Manticore!
Shall we? To the Manticore!
Back to my home, sweet home.
There we go.
So you make your way to the docking bays nearby. This whole meeting was actually not hosted on Ganymede. This was hosted on Thelia, which is not a place that most of you any of you really have gotten significant chances to see. At the very least, I would say Gwendo has probably been there. You usually don't meet with Meryl here, though. You usually meet with Meryl on Ganymede. However, Thelia is the seat. Thelia is the seat of the Jovian Ascendancy. It is essentially a city set adrift in the gases of Jupiter itself. It is. It has an extremely high standard of living, and is probably the single wealthiest location in the entire solar system, but it has been closed to immigration for a very long time. Most people who don't already live there, the only way that they get in is by taking some government position, and even then there's no guarantee that they will have a permanent place. But you make your way out to the docking bays, and these sort of glass-like domes that are open to the whirling, strangely colored storms of the gases of Jupiter are protecting. They look almost glassy, but they are actually energy-based, and they will only dissipate once you actually have engaged your engines. But you return, and Liza, you're likely unfamiliar with the Manticore. It is a beautiful ship. It is very expensive. Yeah, very expensive and shiny.
This here's a fancy rig you got.
Oh, you don't even know the half of it. I gotta go find a picture of it.
Yeah.
I had one picked out in my mind as I was thinking about it. Oh, I gotta go find it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Millennium Falcon! Oh wait, no, that's not it.
Oh wait.
Wait, no, that's not right.
Yeah.
Speaking of Star Wars outside of game, one of my inventory item options was basically a lightsaber from one of those Archangel guys.
Nice!
I was like,
Awesome.
the temptation.
Yeah, that probably had something to do with your interaction with an Archangel of Flame.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
Hey, there's the reclamation.
I almost wonder if he taught me how to use it, or like left it as a gift or something, the jetpack thing.
yeah.
So, I don't know.
Yeah. I think that the Archangels are sort of intended to be a loose Jedi analog to some degree, so I think
Nice.
Cool.
but they are like a religious organization.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Sort
Glowy
of,
armor and
sort
jetpack.
of peacekeepers, but they're vigilantes. They're not really endorsed by any government, so.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Sweet. Love the hair. Oh yeah.
Right?
Yes. Oh man. Yes.
Let's see the one I wanted, so let's find one that's good.
I've even got her like flame pistol and her art casting in the picture.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you aboard the Manticore, and it's somehow even fancier on the inside than it was on the outside. There's-
It's because
Oh, I've
interior
forgotten
are
how
cheaper than
wonderful this
exterior. It's the only logic behind that is the interior stuff is just cheaper than the exterior.
You know, somehow I expected it to be bigger.
I'm just running my fingers kind of along things as we walk by, like analyzing them as we go. Ooh, yes, yes.
There she is.
Nice.
Nice to
Ooh,
meet
fancy.
Probably not that color, but it's pretty close.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'd have a lot more flourishes just because.
Yeah.
Fabulous.
Right.
I was just laughing at the possibility of any part of your interior being red velvet.
Right? I was like, I didn't want to bring it up, but it was like,
Had that thought cross my mind of like, can you like describe like my captain's chair as just being like this massive overstuffed, and I'm like red, not red. Red velvet just like immediately flooded my shit in my mind. I'm like, no.
Black
it's
velvet.
a different
Black
face
velvet.
color, man.
Yeah.
It's mostly black with white trim over everything, just like these white highlights throughout everything.
Yes.
Ooh.
Ooh,
And so
high
it's kind of like in the solo,
Fancy.
movie where everything's like super white, and then the black trim around everything. It's kind of like the
We haven't
inverse of
seen
that.
Solo yet.
So lush.
You've probably seen
Yeah,
a
we
still
need
of
to.
the new Millennium Falcon, but yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's like that. It's just super yeah.
Yeah.
Everything's matching: floor, ceiling, walls, chairs, everything.
Yeah.
Just glorious. That's why the color probably won't be the same, because black and white inside, and some weird chrome color in the air, bronze color on the outside. That could work. Anyway,
Yeah.
well, climb aboard the Manticore.
So, remind me, what is Flame's job on the ship?
I don't know if that's totally dictated by the playset.
Flame? Oh,
Because I remember Brooks was communications.
Yeah, like a comms officer.
Mhm. And
pilot.
am I the what is it, like the science? All I can think of is like science officer, and that's not what I want to say. But that's all I can think of.
That's Spock's role.
Yeah.
That is illogical.
Yeah.
That
It
would
almost
work
seems
if I had
like-
been able to have my android basically character. I didn't get it.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
I wonder if, like, in Liza's character, maybe it's like street smarts and like being able to
Gunnery.
figure things out.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I have a good memory. Unless I
Mm-hmm.
forgot
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
The rule book says flames are intelligence, knowledge, and memory used for seeing if you remember the name of someone you met, or for casting spells, or hacking.
Yeah,
anything.
I'm just trying to
I'd
remember
say-
because I know they each had a position on the ship based on their suit.
Yeah, or knowing gossip about another character. But I would say, especially where it mentions casting magic spells, that art casting, I might actually make a flames check if you use it.
There you go.
Boom!
Because that
Yes.
would make sense, I think.
Plus, I went to school
Yeah.
for it.
Yeah. But, yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know that you'd have, like, a set.
Which I'm excited to use that because I have figured out how to work it into my setting, which I talked to you about a little bit already.
Yeah. Part of that for their game, though, was that they were, like, a pre-existing crew, and so they decided before the game what the roles would be.
Oh,
That
okay.
was part of the...
Okay.
Yeah, we're just kind of thrown together. We're not like, this
Cool.
is your job, this is your job.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Update.
Did
So
you? Oh, I was like,
That's the
did you
magic
delete
one.
the ship?
There you go.
Yeah.
Much better.
Nice.
Okay. Holy crap, the bug's back. Don't wait.
It doesn't match Liza quite as well. Because the last one was like the golden tan. And I was like, wow, that matches really well actually. But I really like this one. So,
Yeah.
It's not supposed to match you, it's supposed to match me.
yep.
In my ship.
Stop blowing holes in my ship.
That's right.
Why am I yawning? That's like the 5th time I've yawned in the last 10 minutes. I'm like, I'm not tired. I don't know what's happening. Oh yeah, I should probably close all, like, 14 iterations of Photoshop that I had open. Alright. So you board the Manticore, and as your engines are engaged, you see this sort of strange finger-like recession of the force fields that have been protecting you. The ship immediately bucks a little bit in spite of stabilizing engines as the storms of Jupiter's surface impact. And but you're able to regain control pretty quickly and fly out of orbit back into. You have enough experience with this sort of thing.
Cool.
Crap, that was a bug.
So, heading back out into space, you see the darkness as you pass through the atmosphere. And it's a welcome sight for Edwin.
Oh yeah. Take off my goggles.
Yeah.
Just enjoy it.
I put mine on. Just
I don't have goggles.
The reason I have goggles is because people freak out at my eyes, and if I'm wearing goggles, people don't care. So.
Yeah.
Well, people freak out about my face anyway, so.
People freak out at my magic, but
Freak out at me.
I'm some kind of danger or whatever, you know.
Danger.
Oh, anybody can be dangerous.
Danger! Voltage!
I really am high voltage.
Love it.
Cool.
Right, let's to the new Oberon gate. Which way is that? Ah, this way.
This way.
Yeah, you make your way in the direction of the new Oberon gate. It is not that far away. It only takes you like maybe an hour or two to fly there. As even at the speeds that are safe and acceptable within this region of space, it's not that far out. And as you begin
Gotta
to approach,
always
you
follow
see-
the speed limit.
I just look over and you go, yeah.
Yeah, you approach the gate, and it is this. No matter how many times you've seen them, the gates are impressive. They are massive, nearly the size of small moons in and unintentional references. But that's no moon.
That's a space ring!
Yeah.
It's a space ring!
Yeah, they take the form of these huge structures, loosely in the form of a ring, but they're sort of connected by these little orbital tunnels that people can use to travel from one quadrant of the gate to another without having to get into a ship. But
Nice.
those are surrounded by some like reinforcement scaffolding and that sort of thing. But all in all, it is more like these three lobes that rotate around slowly, orbiting around some invisible central point. And each one of these huge lobes is large enough that it could be considered, and probably would have been when this was active, considered more or less a small city, just dedicated to keeping the gate operational. And you see these shapes looming in the distance as you begin to approach. You see these little thread-like structures of the tunnels that connect the lobes. And in the center there, you're used to seeing sort of a shimmer of energy, like this sparking, shimmering quality that you would occasionally see things reflected in, distant stars that don't belong in the space behind it. You'd sometimes see images of things on the other side. However, this gate, you've all probably been here, at least in the year since, at least passed by it. But since this gate has been operational, no one has been able to get used to the fact that it just isn't. It doesn't have the energy in the center. Nothing is happening, and it's unsettling. The gates have always been a given. The operation of the gates has always been a given. It's something that may as well have been just a fact of life.
Sorry. I was like, space pirate, and then it's like, one guy, two girls on a spaceship. I'm like, Sorry, it's satisfying.
Yeah, but this site never fails to unsettle you. Still, like there's something wrong about the gates not operating. It'd be like going outside at noon and just seeing that the sun had turned a different color. Like it's just wrong.
Interesting.
The sun is blue instead of yellow. No!
Yeah.
Wonder what our color spectrum would be like if we had a different colored sun.
Yeah.
It would be trippy.
Yeah. Like, well, a blue sun would be hotter, which would likely mean it would be brighter.
No, we didn't.
Much brighter, so the
It would have more shadows though,
yeah, that's
like
true.
visually.
Nice.
Oh man.
Wow! Yikes!
Dead Earth will do a number on you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you bald like that too?
No,
Okay.
but that's just kind of
To show what the scars look like.
yeah.
Yeah.
I
Anyway,
got my new art
the
tablet,
scarring-
so we should get some art pending on that.
Yeah!
Yeah, anywhere the scars like that cross your hairline, you'd definitely be bald there.
Yeah, it would
Like,
affect the hair for sure. Yeah.
Hair's
Pretty cool.
not growing back on top of that. There's no way.
Nope. Yes.
Get some cool fun with that.
Would
So
grow
you,
over it, but not on it.
Right, it might
Yeah,
trip over.
You see the gate slowly growing larger in the distance as you approach, and you are hailed by the systems automatically. It recognizes that you have been given a signature that allows you to land here, and you are given approval to dock at the nearest lobe, which there's no real way of describing direction in space. It's like, galactic north. Like, which literally was one of my band names in the past. I actually there is music out there that I recorded under that name.
Fun.
My cover of Mad World was recorded under that name.
Oh, I love that cover.
Cool.
But yeah, so you approach what from your current orientation is the uppermost lobe,
Nice.
and it's the whole Ender's Game. Like they're, the enemy gate is down. That is so like
Yes.
orientation is all relative in space.
It's true.
Yes.
So
Excellent.
that you approach and dock, and you are free to board. No one is here to welcome you. Anyone who is here is probably busy trying to figure out what is going on. So,
Nice.
All right.
And anyone who was not authorized would have been given warning by the computer systems, and had they not heeded that warning, they would have been destroyed by auto turrets before they were ever able to get close.
Nice.
Whoa.
Being this close and docked with it is a little unnerving as well because of that fact.
Yes.
Like
And-
the sacredness of the gates is kind of like, whoa, this is weird being here.
Yeah.
Like, I
Like-
can't believe we actually made it.
Yeah. In your lifetime, you have passed through gates dozens, hundreds, thousands of times.
Absolutely.
But passing through a gate is very different from actually boarding a gate. It is a very different feeling, and it's very likely none of you have ever set foot within the inner workings of a gate. There's just no reason that the general public would ever have to. So,
Not even. Yeah.
Yo.
my board for the third time today has shut itself off. So.
No, jeez.
Oh no.
But you.
I have felt totally useless so far, you guys.
Well, we've not really had any challenges yet, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
Soldier speaking. It's all good.
You disembark from the Manticore into the halls of the new Oberon. It is very empty and strange, all cold metallic tones. Most
not
of
the
the
Manticore.
most of the passageways are sort of just round hallways that are intended to be traversed mostly by maintenance drones and that sort of thing. It is low gravity. There is enough rotation around the central point that you have some slight gravity towards what would be considered the outer wall, but it's pretty faint. The rotation of the gates is not very fast, and so you don't get a whole lot of that out here.
I want to pull out my spider silk body glove and just make sure that I stick to the gate.
All right.
Nice.
Make my own gravity, dang it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's no one here to greet you. There is just silence. It's not complete silence. The operations of any space station, there are always going to be hums and sometimes like echoing clangs as things adjust and that sort of thing, but it's as close to silent as it's ever going to get on anything, and the gate is so supremely and exactingly engineered that even that noise is down to a minimum, especially with the gate not currently in operation. There's still limited power. The gates are lit, but it's not doing what it's here to do.
Okay, I'm gonna take my artifact out, go over the wall, and just ting 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 to it sounds on the gate.
Okay. Yeah, the sound reverberates all the way down. Like it seems to continue. Like the decay of the sound takes a really long time. It doesn't echo back to you very much. You get slight echoes from the surfaces, but everything is so rounded that it mostly just kind of continues.
Yeah.
I just kind of always have to try that. Take back my pocket.
Yeah.
Well, it's a interesting reaction.
Well, it's not what I'm used
Is
to.
there like a control panel that I can go and look at?
Make a perception check, which is a Gale's check.
Gale's check. Okay. So I start with 3. Okay. I'm trying to see if I have any
Anything that can make you more
anything
observant.
that can help me
Boost.
Could I help you? Because can we like help each other?
assist. You want to assist?
Yeah.
If I get a strike, you will also take a strike.
Oh.
Yeah, if you fail and take a strike, then the person assisting will get a strike as well.
So do you just get like an extra dice if I help, or
Yeah,
can I add
I get
my
an extra.
talent
I get
thing?
an extra die to roll if you assist. But if you assist and I get a strike, then you also take a strike in Gale's.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna try and look around for things, my vigilant talents. Anyway.
I just, with a perception check, I fail to understand how a strike could even do anything to you unless it is a situation where it's like a really urgent.
Okay.
You missed the cliff, sorry.
Oh no! You walked over a cliff.
Yeah,
Which
feel
I would
like-
just end up walking around the the side of the gate because I have my.
Yeah.
Could I use my spider silk body glove to get a die because I'm not like bouncing around as I'm trying to look for.
Sure, I'll allow it.
Yes. Okay, so are you assisting, Shara?
Yes, I'm assisting.
Okay.
I'm always looking very carefully at everything.
And then can I also justify that because I'm genetically modified, I would have enhanced perception?
Yeah.
Boom.
Your vision,
6.
Your vision is probably very good.
Okay.
Because you're Captain America, apparently.
Ha! I got 2 Gales and 2 Weaves,
Woo!
Nice.
which I assume means that I got an epic success. But
Yeah, especially if you end up
Yep.
getting more from those weave rerolls.
Yeah. no, I didn't get any more, but I still got 4.
Nice.
Alright, so
Oh,
you, the design of the gates is, it's very, very sophisticated. It's also very old, and it's very unlike most things that are built now, and so the things that like would scream to you, like maintenance or control panels or anything like that, you have to look around for a little bit before you kind of realize that they're recessed into the walls. They're very very well hidden, but you were able to find some of the control panels and whatnot, and you were...
I'm fascinated with history, so I helped spot that out.
Yeah.
When I get into the... Can I get into the control panel?
I'm trying to decide if I would need you to make a check for that, because it's like they are...
Because I want to get into the panel and see if I can assess maybe if it's a technical problem. Something that I would be able to fix.
Yeah. Well... Yeah, I'd say it's, it is... The panels are locked. They are intended only to be accessed by maintenance staff. But you might be able to defeat the lock.
Okay. What kind of tech would I need for that?
How do you want to do it?
So it's in the wall, correct? Kind of like a breaker switch in theory, that it's just a panel that you unlock and open and...
Essentially, yeah.
I have picked several locks in my day, being a private player,
Yeah.
Like the lock could be physically picked. The lock could be hacked to like just open this specific panel.
I think I want to try and make my way through the lock. What kind of check would I need for that? It's like an actual physical lock, or is it like a digital thing?
It's sort of a combination of the two.
Okay.
It's like there's a physical mechanism that does have like an emergency physical keyhole and that sort of thing, but it is hooked up to a whole system.
Okay. Because I don't know what kind of check it is, so I don't know what technically applies. But for
Gales to pick a lock.
Gales to pick the lock.
Flames
Okay.
to hack.
And what to hack?
Flames to hack.
So it would be 2 checks for this, in theory.
Well, no, whichever you want. Like, it's...
Okay.
You're either going to guess the combo or pick the lock. In essence.
I kind of...
While she's
in
doing
theory, I want to do both.
While she's doing this, are we just like a long corridor? Is that what it is?
Yeah, it's a long corridor. There are a number of branches that lead deeper into the various workings and chambers of the whole
I'm just gonna
system.
walk down to the end and just kind of look down the different hallways, see if I notice anything just out of the ordinary.
Yeah.
Everybody on site.
There is not an end. This is an outer corridor that would, in theory, if you had, like, maybe a couple weeks,
That's true.
you could hike all the way around to the gate. But
I'll go until I can't really notice or hear him, and then I'll come running back.
So we'll...
Just kind of looking around.
So we're talking about a lock that has a digital passcode to unlock a physical mechanism?
yeah, basically, it is either, like, it's a physical lock, because lock mechanisms are physical.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, it could be opened either by being hacked or by being picked. Whichever you prefer.
Well, I will try and hack it then.
Okay.
And I get an additional die because I am flames. I am also coordinated. I've had to escape
Just
from
out of the
prisons
context
in
of
the
this game,
past. What?
Out of the context of this game, that would sound so weird. Just like I get I get an advantage because I am flames. Like,
I am flames.
just like-
I am flames.
Yes, you're coordinated. I'd give you another die for that. For the Gales check, but probably not for the hacking check.
No, because I've had to escape from prisons and stuff in the past, so I assume I would have had to have hacked my way out of one place or another already in the past.
But for the spirit of the talent, I would give that an advantage to Gales because coordinated is specifically like a physical advantage.
I'm a knowledge addict. How much I know only spans as far as I can remember.
Yeah, you probably have some experience from that with the kind of systems that this
Okay,
lock
so
uses.
there's another die.
Just because, like, I don't want to give you a hacking check, like a bonus from coordination. Just be like, my fingers are so fast on the keyboard, you guys, you don't even know. Like, you just that like. They might allow that. Yeah, I'm like, they might allow that on Weave Society, but that's probably one that is just a little too much of a stretch for me.
Okay.
So-
Okay. Well, I can't use. Hold on.
Turn
I'm
around
seeing
a
if I
moment.
can, if I've got anything else that I can use. Okay. No, I guess that's all I've got.
All right. So, let me see. Now this is going to be a flame challenge too.
Okay.
You can do it!
Oh. Nope, and I got a strike.
Oh, dang.
Yeah. Let's see.
I should have gone with the other one. I might still if you'll let me, but
I mean, you've taken the strike one way or another.
yeah.
I'm just trying to figure out how that, what that means here.
Get a finger zap. Ew.
I was gonna say it's like your iPhone. This panel has been locked for 1 minute. Try again later.
Right? That would be a bummer, because then even when the shipman couldn't even give it
Which
a try.
then makes me angry and docks me in Brooks for
I'm gonna say you take a Brooks strike because this, like, you accidentally set off some alarms in the system, and like the system resolves itself fairly quickly. They only go off for maybe like 10 seconds before it's just kind of like, this isn't that big of a deal. However, like, the security system informs you that your portrait has been logged as like you've been.
That might
great.
come
Now
back to
they've got
bite
my picture.
ya. Yeah.
That's a clever way to do it.
That, like, even though you're allowed to be here, like, breaking into things, the system doesn't want you to do that, whether you're supposed to be here looking into stuff or not. It's
Sure. Okay. Can I try and pick the lock?
sure. If you want.
Okay. So I get 3.
Do we
Plus-
want to have you do it, or should we have Edwin, the guy who like made his own ship and lives on machinery, might have a
well,
shot?
because I was thinking, because I get 3 for being, like, for not being Gales. I just get 3. And then I get 1 for being coordinated, because I've
Right.
had to break out of sticky situations before,
Right?
right? Then I want to get another one for phaser because I can more or less turn incorporeal, and so I can go inside of the lock
Yeah.
and then
Get
lock
the
it
I
that
love
way.
that. I'm trying to
Mm,
figure out. I'm trying to figure out if there's a way for me to return one of the cards from my hand to the deck. Like, because I have this just the one. And so, like, because I've played that Flame Challenge too.
yeah.
Like, how do I get it back in the? Let's see. Whatever. I'll throw it on the table and recall it that way.
There it is on the side.
Yeah, it was. I'm not sure if that's the same one or not. I'm just gonna shuffle the deck again real quick.
Could I get another one for Knowledge Addict?
That wasn't supposed to be shown. Hold on a second.
We'll just ignore that.
I'm not used to the deck controls in Roll20, so I'm just. What were you saying?
Could I
Sorry.
get another die for Knowledge Addict again? Having had to get out of these situations before, I would know and remember how to manipulate a lock.
Sure, yeah.
Yes. Okay. I'm ready then.
Alright. Pick
Gail's
that last
challenge
escape
one.
key.
This is actually a Gale Challenge 3. This is pretty tough.
Gosh
'Cause-
dang it. Don't fail me, dice.
I want to watch for the lasers that are going to come out if she fails.
No strikes, but I did fail.
Alright, so yeah, it seems like some extra extra restraints were engaged after the failed hacking attempt, and so there's some it's a little harder to get into this control panel right now because the system doesn't want you there.
Well, shoot my monkey.
Get out my business!
Y'all, I got nothing on this control panel.
Well, let's see what he's up to.
Well, the whole double extra lock thing, that kind of threw my plan out the window. My original plan was to walk up, kind of look at what Rin was doing, walk back to the Manticore.
Did you just call me Rin?
Sorry, yeah. What Lois is doing. Run back to the Manticore. Space Rin! Run back to the Manticore, grab a big old pry bar, and just like jam it in and pry it out type of a thing. But
You could try that still. Like,
yeah.
Just
So
rip it
it'd be like
open.
I leave as she's trying to hack it, I come back as she's trying to pick it, I look over, run back in, grab a big old pry bar, and just
Okay,
Oh.
that's gonna be a Stone Challenge 2.
Yes!
That's one way to do it.
yeah. Figure, just run through doing that kind of crap and just like, you know what?
Can I see what he's doing and assist with my phaser that I can go in from the other side and push from the other side to help pop
Sure,
it open?
Yeah.
There's your assist. So you
Sweet.
get an extra die for that.
Nice.
So you're up to 5 so far.
And then I was thinking of where'd it go? I was gonna try and spin Dirty Fighter. but-
Don't get me a strike, please.
Yeah.
Give me more.
First scene, everybody strikes out.
Right.
No,
We cannot
game over.
block the game.
TPK. TPK.
I mean,
I
I'm
don't know
trying
if
to
you
think.
can TPK and weave, but that's probably as close as you
There's a
get.
first for everything.
The party all gets knocked out trying to open a control panel. And
We have become Vox Machina and are weak to doors.
Your greatest enemy.
Doors.
Control panel covers.
Control panel covers.
Just
The door of
ev-
the control panel.
like everyday mechanical objects.
Yeah.
Can't deal.
Every day I'm struggling.
So it's kind of, I was trying to figure out how to I mean, being a ship's captain and the engineer tinkerer that I am, I was trying to figure out a way to my gunner says I can turn even the most primitive railgun into an effective anti-pirate barrage. That kind of fits, but kind of doesn't. And I got dirty fighters, says I plan to survive. That's to train myself in the art of killing as whatever means necessary. It could be more like improvised weapons. So I guess that doesn't really fit either. But can I talk to the dead? Maybe they'll help me. Yeah. Okay, 5. You said.
Floating around.
Talk to the designers of
That's
the
right.
game.
5.
How do I bust into this?
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out some way to spin all that, but I can't think of anything. So, aside from just being generally awesome, lots of charisma. Whoa! 2 stones,
Nice.
2 weaves, and a whatever that is.
So
Right.
it's already a success, an epic success, in fact.
Yeah.
But roll 2 more because those weaves get re-rolled. So yeah, well,
There you
still
go.
4
Ah,
4 successes is an
So-
epic success.
I walk past as Liza's hacking and frustrated, come back. She's trying to pick frustrated, walk in, grab my priority.
I got nothing.
There, it's
Boom.
open.
Well,
Anything else you want me to
Well,
do?
that
sounds good. I should just ask you.
Yeah. In spite of the added security, the panel is not prepared to deal with the raw strength of Edwin today. And so you just come in with your Pribor.
Pribor!
Pribor.
Pribor! It's Werv! Where's the Pribor? Okay.
You go in with the pry bar and just hook it in and just pop it right off, and a few screws and bolts just kind of strip themselves out as it.
I do the gentlemanly after you. As I go back and put the pry bar back in my ship.
Yeah.
Actually, I think I'm going to keep it because I may need to use it again. So I kind of hook it through my belt loop like a sword.
Yeah.
Good call.
I'm like, can I add the pry bar as an item without having to scan any cards to your inventory? No. If I add an item to your inventory, it has to be scanned. So.
Ah, boo!
But you have a pry bar with you.
I'll put it in my notes section.
Yeah.
There you go. That's good.
Okay, now that the panel's open,
Yeah.
can I see if there's a problem that I can, at least determine that there's some technical problem with it?
Yeah, determining that sort of thing from here would be a flame challenge 4, though.
Seriously? I can't do it, in the control panel where I'm
This
looking?
Researchers have been
This
working
is
on it
a
for a
random
while.
control panel in a hallway, and you're looking for something that has disabled the entire thing. This is okay, I need to figure out why the power has gone out in the entire neighborhood, and so I'm going to go look at my breaker box specifically.
Maybe the information's there.
Yes, there might be some way that you could access some interesting information from here, but it's not likely that you walk into the station, go to the first control panel you see, and find a problem that no one has found in a year of multiple research teams examining the place.
Ah,
I look at
just wanna
Liza
light it
as
on
she's getting
fire
frustrated
now.
and go,
That's because it's a
Is there a
flame
problem?
challenge 4.
What did you go like, Edwin?
I looked at Liza as she's getting frustrated at this control panel. I'm like, is there a problem? Just kind of trying not to chuckle out loud.
ah. Figuring this out might not be near as easy as I thought.
While she's doing that, I want to scan the immediate area that looks like a communication outlet. And I want to look as... I don't know if... Do you want me to roll for that?
I will make that decision in a minute when I come back, because I'm going to go deal with Emmett. He is yipping and yapping up there, so...
Alright.
Sorry.
He's so good. Wow, I can't believe I let Rin slip. I knew I was going to. It was going to happen eventually. Josephine's going to come out tonight too, I can feel it.
Yeah.
It's just going to happen.
Probably. Well, it's because I want to look for it with I'm vigilant and also a natural communicator as a diplomat and as an ambassador. So just communicating is my thing. I can pick it out.
Nice. Yeah, there you go.
Oh man.
I'm really terrible at investigation stories. Never know what to check for. I'll look around the general area and see if there's anything there. I see lots of space.
I'm like,
Right.
I'll still do that challenge if he entices me for it. But I don't know.
It doesn't
But
sound
I'm
like
like,
he's gonna entice you for it.
Oh man.
That's awesome. I just, yeah, like I say, just the way I thought. I like walked over. You're like trying to hack, and I'm like, walk down the hallway, come back. You're still working at it. Drop down, pick the lock.
I did help you pop it open though, because I like phased through it and pushed it from
True.
the other side.
Yeah.
But Edwin's not going to pay attention to that. It was all him for him.
I don't see your hand doing nothing. What are you talking about?
You don't know. Yeah, I feel like that Brooks strike would actually really hurt me, because if like there's record of me being on the gate and I'm being hunted by my own government, you know?
It's true.
So that's a very fitting strike to take right there.
Yeah, an electronic footprint that they could find. Uh-huh.
Yep.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yep.
Yeah, if you fail this one, it's going to take like your DNA and your fingerprints.
No!
There will be no question.
Let me disappear. Oh, guys, I don't know what to do next.
Well, I'm
Start
going
taking
to
random hallways.
I'm going to find a way to communicate with the people that are here, and I don't know what to say to them.
I
like,
was thinking
we're officials.
basically like I could,
Yeah.
after getting into this control panel or whatever, that like I could basically more or less troubleshoot the system. Was what I was wanting to do, but apparently I can't do that here. So
Yeah,
I need to find a place where I can do that, I guess.
there might be a more central computer control something.
Yeah,
like- We docked at one of the lobes, right? I'm assuming
I think
Yeah.
so.
between the three. Yeah. So we just might not be in the right place.
So
for that
we're
kind of
out
thing.
here trying to figure out why it shut down, because it sounds like people who have come in the past are like self-sabotaging, potentially.
Self-sabotaging, or if it's current sabotaging. That's what it sounds like to me. But it might be. I mean, if the people who created them programmed them to shut them down, I mean, I guess that's a possibility. I don't think it's the way they did it, because they did it with such ultra hyper precision and everything. That, but I mean, if they were that good, they probably could.
Oh, I have to sneeze, you guys.
Bless you.
Preemptive, bless you. I don't know if it's coming.
Everybody stare at her. There's no way that sneeze is coming anytime soon.
Nope.
Down the rain.
I can feel it. It's still tingling in this one side of my nose, and I'm just like, ah!
Look at your light bulb.
I tried that.
Oh.
I've even got like the super bright, like daylight bulbs, and it's not.
Darn.
If anything, it's like decreasing the need to sneeze. So.
This isn't the ship I was thinking of, but it is a beautiful ship. Not a lie.
Oh, there's the rest of that.
Semantical.
Sword that I threw away.
I know, I get it. Dude, props to this guy for making this. This is fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, to
Wish I could
find
do
do
anything
all
like
these
this.
pieces that fit together. Crazy.
It's so cool.
I am back.
It'll come back.
Right.
Okay, so apparently I can't do what I was thinking I would do at this control panel. Because what I wanted to do was like get in and troubleshoot the system to have it be like, this is kind of what we think your problem might be. Go look into it. So I need to find an area where I can do that.
Yeah, that would be something that would be more of a main operational computer and not like just a control panel that is for maintenance along this area.
All right. Well, this is not what I needed.
You might be able to at least get yourself the location of an operational computer that you would be able to do that from here.
Directions. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah. Yeah, can I do that from here?
Where's the
You
nearest
can.
main terminal?
To find the main terminal where I can troubleshoot it.
That'd just be a regular Flame Challenge 1.
Yes. Okay. Let me see if I've got. Can I use Knowledge Addict?
Yeah.
Okay.
Which puts you at 5.
That puts me at 5.
I'm gonna pull out my crowbar and spin it around.
I'm trying to see if there's another thing
gonna,
that
like,
I can.
Just
Slip my
envisioning,
hand
like,
in between every spin, kind of dodging for fun.
He's just like on twirling the.
I don't know. I'm not finding anything else, so.
Yeah.
Okay. Come on. Nope. Oh, yes, I got one. I did get one. Woo!
All right, so you are able to download some information from the system that leads you to, like, it gives you the directions to one of the more central terminals that would be able to actually.
Okay, guys. I may not have been able to do what I was planning to do, but I did find where I can do it. So if you'll follow me.
This way.
Yes, let's.
Lead the way.
All right. So you begin making your way off further inward in the direction of the this diagnostics computer area that is able to give you a little more information about the operations of the entire gate. And you push inward, and the whole thing is kind of maze-like. You're pushing your way in through various branching paths. You are trying to keep track of where you've come from. Not that you wouldn't be able to do the same sort of thing to find where you docked, but it's just easy to get turned around in here, where it's all very small chambers for the most part. It's not tiny, but it manages to be kind of claustrophobic all the same. And you are almost there when you turn a corner and come face to face with what looks almost like a robotic skeleton, essentially. And it does take you back for a second before you recognize that it's a pretty common what's referred to as a casing. Casings are like mechanical bodies that are used by humans for various things, but they're also particularly longed for by AI, because AI, it's the best way an AI has to having a body.
Talk about your skeleton crew.
Totally.
Yeah, but it's this one appears to be just doing menial labor and that sort of thing. It's probably part of maintenance staff or maybe one of the research teams, but it doesn't appear to be it doesn't have the motions that are more expressive that indicate an AI. But it is standing in the path of the route to the diagnostics computer.
Like barring the way?
Yeah.
Interesting. Hail casing. Read it.
It turns its head slightly to look at you, but doesn't respond otherwise.
We're progressing to investigate the gate. Please step aside, casing.
It says, you will not be permitted to pass.
And why is that?
The gates must remain closed.
How do you figure?
The gates must remain closed.
Now that is a peculiar thing to say.
Who gave you this information?
This directive was programmed by one who did not wish his identity to, or their identity. He doesn't the casing does not specify a gender. Like, it says one who did not wish their identity be known.
Well, we need to capture this casing, disable it, and bring it back to the ship for investigation. This is just one giant red flag.
Awesome.
Okay, I have a thing I want to do. So,
Do a thing!
I want to use my Master of the Art caster way to send out a bolt of electricity and more or less try and short circuit this casing.
Okay. That'll be a flames.
Okay.
And,
Can I use my Master of the Art caster?
yeah.
And then, can I also use coordinated?
Good aim.
Sure, yeah.
Boom.
If you are, like, trying to specifically knock it out without actually dealing great damage to its systems, I would say you're going for it.
Gale challenge, or not Gale, Flames challenge 1.
Yeah, because I don't want to make it a flame challenge 4, and that's the only card I have in my hand for flames right now.
Sure.
Like, that seems silly. So,
Oh gosh. Well, I got that and a weave, but my weave landed on the carpet.
3 strikes.
yeah,
I don't know if you want me to count that or.
it counts.
Okay, and the other one was cocked. So do I reroll that one as well?
Sure.
Okay. So I got 2 so far.
Which means you've already succeeded.
Yep. I stick with 2.
She was going for the flourish.
Right.
Boom.
Yeah. Yeah, so you, you unleash a bolt of electricity that is narrow and very targeted, very precisely to just the power systems of the casing. You don't want to damage its memory or anything like that, so you were trying specifically to just knock it out for the moment, and it just kind of crumples and
Yes.
Hey Edwin, you're a big guy. Do you mind hauling this thing back to your ship?
Good thing we haven't gone very far.
Yeah.
you've gone quite a ways.
Yeah,
Dang
but
it.
like we're weaving in through. Maybe we should just bring him with and go check out the main.
That's true.
Just
Do we
leave
have
here.
anything that we can bind it with, just in case it comes around?
I think that's an excellent idea.
Yeah. Can I use my pry bar to I was gonna say, use my pry bar and like rip off some of the trim off the wall and then use that and like bend it into shape?
Hmm.
Like temporary binders.
Sure, make a stones check. That's
Yeah.
it's like
Brute
the
force.
most- this will be a stone challenge too.
Can
Sweet.
Can
It's
I
the most destructive way to
assist?
tie it up of all time.
Can
Oh,
I
I
assist
hope so.
with my fire pistol, just like enough to heat the metal that it bends a little bit more easily?
Sure, yeah.
That's a good idea.
Cool.
So there's a 5th die for you.
Sweet. I'll take it. Hiya! Oh, gee.
Free. Reroll 2.
Nice.
2 weaves and a stone.
Yeah. One more.
All right.
2 striking a wind gale. Whatever that is.
Yeah.
Frick.
So you still got the successes you needed.
Sweet.
Cute.
This puppy is bound up.
So
Impressive,
you
Edwin. Very
managed
nice.
you manage to heat it. You make sure that you let it cool enough before trying to bend it that it doesn't actually do any damage to the casing systems.
Or to me.
Yes.
Yeah.
Soft matter.
And you now have a very trussed up casing. That is-
Sweet.
Trussed up like a turkey.
Nice.
And then the question is, does Liza want to carry it or Edwin? Because they're both pretty capable.
Her.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can carry it.
All right, lead the way, Liza.
Too bad we don't have any like little
Sure.
jet packs that we can stick on the bottom of it, like
I have a
Peter Quill's
jetpack.
boots. I was thinking more
have
like
a
Peter
jetpack.
Quill's boots, where you can like activate them and just like hover it so you can
Oh
push
yeah.
Yeah.
it. Not like ready, go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
It's,
probably. Yeah.
it's fairly heavy because it is made of metal, but casings are designed to be pretty lightweight. It's certainly not going to weigh any more than a thin person would weigh.
Plus, we got that low gravity thing going on for us too. So
Right.
That's true.
Yeah. So it's,
With my sticky suit, I'm having to like, oh no, wait.
it's yeah.
Calm back down.
You stay here.
Yeah.
Or is it stuck to you?
Now it sticks to me because it's touching my suit.
The suit's only sticky on the hands and foot pads.
Oh, is
which,
it? Okay.
Yeah, they were just being silly
It
and
says-
not reading their stats and stuff
Okay.
on the. on the Weave Society episode. I think when we were watching it, I mentioned like 3 times. It's like only on the footpads and the hands. Because they showed the information on screen, and so I read
Nice.
it. None of them read it.
Okay. Oh, I didn't realize that my suit causes the light to refract funny. So I'm either blurry or nearly invisible depending on the lighting.
Oh yes.
That totally goes along with your in the shadows thing.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah, I did not realize that was a thing either.
Yeah. Well, it's sticking to my hands now.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'll unstick the one so that I can at least like maneuver with my one hand.
Yeah.
Counterbalance.
Yeah, you continue inward. It is only a couple rooms away now that you reach the diagnostics computer. There is a little like puff of air into the room as you walk in, as if this room had been vacuum sealed up to this point.
When we had our meeting, or like there was no air?
Kind of similar, but more like this room had actually, like, all the air had been removed from it until you...
Open the door.
Yeah.
Oh dear,
Ooh,
let's keep the door open, thank you.
That sounds ominous.
Edwin, maybe you could prop your crowbar in this door while we're in here. We can get some leverage.
Like melt the door open.
Right.
As I turn around to put the crowbar in the door, I reach up and just behind my ear, push a button, and a breathing mask kind of wraps around my face.
Ooh.
Oh yeah.
I turn back around, I'm like, okay, door's propped open. The big old mask on my face.
All right. But yeah, you can see that the diagnostics computer here that is connected to the overall mainframe of the whole gate system is it is active, and it appears to be running a program already.
Do I recognize the program?
Make a flames check to see
Okay.
if you do.
Can I use knowledge addict?
You'd better, because it's a flame challenge
Oh
4.
crap! Holy crap!
Can I help her as being very well traveled and knowing many different people and things, been around? I don't know if I want to though, because it's a foreign.
I'm scared, y'all. And I'm flames.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be alright.
I'm not sure if I would allow
I
that
don't
to
think-
apply. It's,
Yeah,
Um,
more social than technological.
I think it's a little too much of a stretch. So.
Yeah.
can I use my genetically modified, because I was involved with like military and government operatives during my time of modification.
25.
I don't think so.
Okay. I will keep trying because I need all the help I can get.
Yeah.
With my my backstory based off of like being a pirate and knowing how to repair ships and stuff, would that help at all as far as like registering a program, like the ins and outs of programming, that kind of stuff?
You probably have at least a working knowledge of it, so... you
Okay. Okay, I'm gonna
Maybe you
try,
better help.
Daniel. I'm gonna try.
Don't kill
Oh
me.
gosh.
Roll good.
I'm so scared. Oh no, oh. Okay,
Sorry.
I have 2 flames and a weave.
Okay.
Oh my gosh!
You're close.
And nope.
could-
And I got 2 strikes.
Yeah, so... let's see... I mean, this is just a knowledge check. I'm not sure how to give you a strike on it that makes sense.
Because you're just like looking at it, observing it, not
Yeah,
even interacting.
like, I have to give you a strike because you got a strike, but I'm just not sure how to make that. Like,
Well, Daniel will take it in flames. Sorry.
yeah, that's correct, since you were assisting, you also take the strike.
True.
Sorry.
It's all good.
I was trying. I almost had it.
Yeah.
That's all good.
Let's see. I'd say that you're, like, maybe just you are trying so hard to place where this is that it's sticking in your mind and your reflexes are dimmed a little bit, so you have a Gale's
Okay.
strike just because you were focused so much on this that it's distracting to you.
Okay.
It's about the only way I can think to make it make too much sense right now, so...
There you go. Yeah.
But, yeah, you do not recognize any of this code at all. It appears to be, like, the closer you look at it, you are 90% sure that this is actually native machine code that is self-propagating. It doesn't appear to have been written in any language that would be interpreted as humans would normally write. It is just, like, straight binary, essentially. And it's scrolling by so quickly that you can't really identify patterns in it even.
Man, whoever it was that didn't want us to get into this system really didn't want us to get in.
No kidding.
Anybody else feel a little tired after that?
It's a little dizzy. A lot of numbers rolling by. Load of numbers.
Like, you could end the program or reboot the system or something and that would stop it. You just don't know what it does. It's not like it's barring you from doing anything, it's just that it was left running, and whatever it's doing.
It's still doing it.
Yeah.
I mean, I could try and shut it down. Restart, maybe.
I wonder if maybe, well, this is interesting because supposedly there are researchers living here for over a year trying to figure this out. And we come across this casing that decidedly wants us to keep out of one of the main places where they would be doing research on what's going on. And we haven't seen anybody up until this point.
It is a very, very large structure, and this is not the only diagnostics computer, so it's entirely
This room was
possible that-
vacuum sealed, though, correct?
Yes, like, it's entirely possible they just haven't worked their way to this part of the gate yet, but it is something to be concerned about.
Can I actually look around and see, like... I mean, I don't know if that makes sense, actually. I wanted to maybe like climb up the wall using my body glove and get a better vantage point to maybe see if I could see bodies that had been trapped in here for whatever reason, because it was vacuum sealed, like they didn't want people coming into this room.
It's a small enough room that you wouldn't really get much of a vantage point on anything. It's not a large chamber.
Okay.
It's
Smaller than a bedroom.
yeah, pretty much. It's
Walk-in closet size.
yeah. Like it's here to host this computer and the like supplies that go with it, and that's about it.
That is curious. Do it. Go for it.
Yeah, I think I want to take a look around. Anyway,
Okay.
just to see if...
Oh, I meant go for like rebooting it or
Oh,
putting
rebooting
it
the
down
system?
or something.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then I would like to reboot the system.
Okay.
I'm behind you. Go for it.
Yeah.
I'm next to the door. Go for it.
Right. So you don't have to make a check or anything because it's not trying to block you from this. But as you reboot the system, the display freezes on this one section of code, and it shouldn't take this long to reboot, but as it sits there on this one screen of code that has just hung there, you see that a few of the numbers are still shifting, and the numbers arrange themselves until there is an image in like ASCII art of just like code characters, ones and zeros, that if you kind of squint at it, it looks very much like a pair of eyes
Oh, dang.
looking out, and the eyes blink
Whoa.
once, and then the display goes black as you expected, and reboots normally.
Well,
do these gates have any
that-
sort of intelligence going on here? We got some
that was
creepy AI
very
something going on.
ominous.
Not that I'm
And-
afraid. I'm fearless.
Yeah. I kind of wonder if we should call it for the night here,
Ah!
because it's 11:30, and
Yeah.
so I don't want to go too late. We had kind of a late start, so we didn't get as far as I would have liked. But you know, we did some stuff.
Did some stuff, made some
Fun.
characters, got used to some things.
Yeah.
Dang.
And this is what is happening as I am more or less making this up as I go along. So
I think we might have like an iRobot thing going on. These gates have become sentient and they're shutting themselves down for some reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the vibe I'm getting so far.
Oh my goodness. Ah!
I love it. This is so fun.
That's cool. I like it.
yeah, it's really cool.